Hi chums. This is not going to be easy, but I have a confession to make. I've been unfaithful. I've been unfaithful to you. It wasn't supposed to happen, okay, but a friend of ours arrived here and I promised her some potatoes, and we came down to look at the greenhouse, and then one thing led to another and we ended up doing a potato reveal. I know, it was stupid, I didn't want it to happen, but it did, and it was no good. I didn't even enjoy it because I only got £5 2 ounces of potatoes, so it was no good, and I was thinking about you the whole time, so it meant nothing. So please don't leave me. I promise it'll never happen again. So I'm sorry. Right, on to business now. That stuff's out of the way. Right, this is very serious stuff, folks. Even more serious than my infidelity. Because I've just got my ass well and truly kicked by Dan. And Chris is creeping up there as well, and he had me sweating a few minutes ago and is watching his reveal before it came out. So, seeing as we're all doing Sarpo Mira, I have a Sarpo Mira here, but I don't think it's going to be very good in terms of £13 3 ounces or £9 1 ounce like Chris and Dan got. Well, not ordered. Dan had 13.3 and Chris, I think it was, and Chris had 9.1. That's quite a lot of spuds, you know. But these are Sarpos. What happened here was I made a mistake with these. I put these in with the other potatoes, and last year when I did that, they seemed to do okay, but this year I put them in behind the potatoes, so they were getting blocked from the wind, which meant that they were in a sheltered zone behind the other spuds where damp and blight could actually get a hold of them. So the potatoes got blight. They did resist for a brave while, but then they succumbed. So before, in case I lost my potatoes, I just cut the stems off. So they only got about until the middle of August, I suppose, and they've been sitting since. You know the way I leave the potatoes sitting and then do them later on. So that's that. So Marisa, I think it was Marisa, asked me, where have you been? I've been very busy at the house. The last time you saw the house, it was at the stage of getting the front and the sides plastered, and then there wasn't enough happened after that. I showed you the scaffold and stuff up for the second phase. So the second part, the house is now completely plastered, and the gutters are up, and the fascias and the soffits, and we're now doing internal work. The carpet's down in the bedrooms, and the floors are all lifted and cleaned up in the living room. The painting has been done in the living room and the hall and the kitchen and the bedroom, and we're now getting window poles or whatever the hell those things are to hold curtains up. I'm getting those sorted out, and then we can start moving stuff back in. But we didn't bring stuff back into the house simply because we didn't want to have to start working around a whole load of stuff, you know. So what are you thinking? So for that reason, there's not a lot to show, and I'm going to wait until we get the last wee bit done, and then I'll show that. The curtain poles might not be up, but the window boards and stuff will be on, you know. So it'll probably be in 3 or 4 days' time. Might be, it depend on how the guys are fixed that are working. One guy is coming back just whenever he can, basically, because they have other work to do. It's more important than mine, you know. They're taking on big contracts and stuff, so they can't just keep coming here every day. They want in and out as quick as possible. So I'm getting the work done when they can do it, basically, you know, which suits me well because my mate's doing it, so I'm not going to put pressure on him, you know, and we're not in any pressure to get it done because it's not as if we've nowhere to live, you know, we'll still get the other part of the house to live in. So that's that. The other business, yeah, I've been pretty busy. My aunt came back from Canada. She went there for a year and stayed for 46 years. So it was a bit longer than she expected, but the what was I going to say to you there? Yeah, so she's home now, and what logistical problems we are facing. She needs a bank account, okay? So all her money is sitting in Canada, and she needs a bank account. She cannot get a bank account without a utilities bill, okay? She cannot get a utilities bill until 3 months is up, because I phoned today and asked, could you send out an estimate for one or 2 weeks, and we'll pay it immediately, obviously, and it'll just mean that she's got a bill to take to the bank, and the bank actually told me to do that. When I phoned up NI Power, no, we don't do that sort of thing. But the girl in the bank assured me that they do, you know. So, where are we at now? So we tried with BT, and we've got from British Telecom, the phone provider. We have letters from BT and from NI Power and from my aunt's wages department, our pension department, and Department of Education, and they're all addressed to her at her address. But we can't use any of them because they're not a bill. They're connection letters and they're a change of address letters, but they're not a utilities bill. And apparently this utilities bill thing is to prove that you are actually living in the house for a certain period of time because of the money laundering thing. Money laundering is huge here apparently, you know. So there's to stop money laundering, that you have to be resident in a place for at least 3 months. And by getting a utility bill with your name on it, it's kind of proof that you do live there. So we're in a situation now where my aunt cannot get a bank account because she has no utility bill, and she cannot pay a utility bill because she doesn't have a bank account. And when I tried to explain this to the guy in Northern Ireland Power, it was of no interest to him whatsoever. The fact that she couldn't pay her bill was not his problem, basically. And somebody else will deal with that when the time comes that she can't pay it. See? Now, she won't ever be in that position because we are throwing her money as she needs it. And well, it's not asking, we're just giving her money, basically, to keep her going. And, what do you call it? So, it's not as if she's destitute and she has all this money and she has no access to money. She has money, all right. But she would like to have her own money, which is perfectly reasonable, you know. And she feels a bit embarrassed that we're giving her money and stuff, you know. And we're just delighted to be able to help her because she has been so good to us. Because I have spent a lot of time in Canada at her expense, because I went out there to work and she wouldn't take any money off me for rent or any food or anything while I was working, because, oh no, you have to save your money because you have to go back and pay for university fees and stuff, you know. So it's given us a chance to give her something back. So, but I know what's going to happen. When she gets her money, she's going to give us all the money back again, you know, which is, it's not what we want, because we're enjoying being able to do something for her for a change. But that's our predicament, real catch-22, that you need a utilities bill to get a bank account, and you need a bank account to pay a utilities bill, and we haven't got either. So that's where we are. It's like a Franz Kafka novel, you know. And every time you phone up, is she sitting beside you? Yes, she's sitting beside me. Nobody will talk to a third party at all. It's just not done. It used to be you could phone up and say, look, I'm phoning up on behalf of my mother because she needs to do this or that. Oh, that's no problem at all, that's it done now. But now they have to actually speak to the person. And sure, anybody, it could be anybody they're speaking to, but as long as they can tick on their little box, we have spoken to her. They don't care that it might be somebody else imitating who she is, imitating her. So that's why I've been kind of disappeared. I've been trying to get bank accounts sorted out, and I've been trying to get what else? Bank accounts and phone accounts, and my brother-in-law has been brilliant. He's been doing a lot of it for her. But he actually works for Telecom, and he can't get a bill for her. They just won't do it. There's just no. He's sort of going, look, she's my aunt. You know me, I've been working for you for the past 30 years. It doesn't matter. She gets treated the same as everybody else. I suppose they do treat one differently then. If it gets out, they'll go, oh, but you told so-and-so, you know. But that's that. So, as I say, that's where we are. We're trying to get this lady sorted out so she can get access to her own money, which is sitting in Canada doing nothing. There's something in here, like a bee or a wasp or something. Opposite bee, a wee worker bee. Right, so what have we got? I think it looks better than it is. What's that, £5? Right, so, where are we at now? 5, 6. So to say, that's the, that's why I haven't been on much. I've been busy at the house and doing stuff for the guys, and then we've been working from my aunt as well, you know, running up and down there. It's an hour and a half drive every time we go to see her, you know, so it's not the sort of thing where you can just nip up and say hello, because you have to sort of wait. Have I got my own stuff done before I lose a day here, you know? Thankfully, it's a very pleasant drive. It's up through the countryside and then out onto the Antrim Coast Road. And if you look up Antrim Coast Road, let me put a link up if I remember. The Antrim Coast Road is one of the world drives. You know, if you were going to do a drive in the world, the Antrim Coast Road is one of them. And I think I told you before that the longest sea drive, ocean drive in the world, in any country, is in Ireland. The Irish coast, I can't remember how many miles, it's 1,200 and something miles long, because Ireland's only 300 miles long, but 360. But it goes in and out like that the whole way down the coast, so it's about 1,200 miles. But it's the single longest coastal route you can follow in the world, because in any other country, it's divided. They meet in another country, like down the west side of America. You've got Argentina and Peru and all, you know, and you've got. So they're all getting divided up along the Pacific and on the other side, and Japan and China and all that stuff. Not one country has got as long a route as Ireland has, you know. But the other beautiful route is the Antrim Coast Road. And somebody once said that the Antrim Coast Road was designed by an engineer, a poet and an artist. It is a beautiful, beautiful route. Right, so we go to weigh these now. Let's see. You can see the difference in the sun. The sun's nowhere near where it was before, so it's hardly even come over the trees because it's so low at the moment in the sky. And then the clocks will go back in a couple of weeks' time. I think that'll be alright there, won't it? Just give it a couple of wee tiny bit. There we are. Right. Hello. Right, get our potatoes. Oh God, this is pretty heavy actually. What do we see? Oh, 10.25 pounds. Right. No, I really can't do it, but I think enough of you have seen what it's up to, they know what I'm at. Go back here again, right? And we'll lift this off the scale, and we'll zero the scale. And we'll put this down here, and we'll take the brick out. Let's see what it is now. Oh, we need to go back over to here again then, don't we? Right, we'll see. That's good enough there. Right. It's only about 4 pounds or 5 pounds, I think. What's that? 4.9 pounds. Not very good, about 2.2 kilos or something like that. Yeah, 2.24 kilos. So there you are, folks. That's where we are. 2.24, 4.9 pounds. Not very good. But as I say, I cut the stuff off them. I cut the hams off them in August time, so I wasn't expecting anything more than that, you know. But there'll be a video up then before, hopefully before the end of the week. I'll get a video up of the inside of the house, and then see how we go from there. We've got a lot more potato reveals to do, and it's getting into wood turning time, so hopefully get some wood turning things up after I've reorganised my shed yet again. And for the wood turners, you know, I go to the wood shed on a Tuesday night. It's up in Temple Patrick, and it's a shop run out of a big barn basically, and it's a wood turning centre. They've got lathes and everything, and it's used by the Ulster shop for their training and stuff and for their meetings. But on a Tuesday night they do a demo, and it's usually one of the guys from around here, and there's some fantastic turners, you know. I'm going to see a guy tonight called David O'Neill, and he's brilliant, he's really good. But Cindy Drozda is coming to the woodshed on the 11th of November, so I'm really looking forward to that, you know. See her then. So that'll be good. That's a real coup for them to get her. She might be over here on a tour or something, you know, but Sam and Linda got her anyway, so that pleases me. So I'll be going to see Cindy Drozda. Alright? So there you are, folks. All the best now, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.